Okay, well, I am waiting for the movement's pretty much done on the other movement, that the NH36 with the new dial and hands. I'm still waiting for the crown, which is taking forever to get here. I hope it didn't get lost in the mail, but that's keeping me from finishing up the other movement because I need it to work with these new stems that I have here that work with an H36. Anyways, I'm gonna try to finish up with working on the case, and I'm gonna start by removing the bezel and replacing it with this crystal Times Coin Edge one. And you've probably seen people do this before, but basically you just wedge a good object in between the bezel and the case, press it in as carefully as you can, and then twist and pop it off. I did it on my turtle. Supposedly there was a gap that's a little bit more obvious, like it's a little bit larger, like in the middle here somewhere, than anywhere else along this gap, but I don't really see any difference there, so whatever. I think I covered it with some electrical tape, so I'm just gonna carefully try to get this in here. It's always a scary business. Hopefully without jacking up the bezel. It surprises me. Like, how do people fit this blade in there? It just seems so impossibly thick to wedge in between the bezel and the case. Let's see. Okay, after several minutes of trying to get the bezel off, I finally did, but with a little less than successful results. I had all that tape on, and I still got some marks here, so what I'm going to try to do is before I put the new bezel on, I'm going to try to brush that out with a rotary tool. Just mask part of the high polished parts off so we don't get that brushed. And yeah, see, this got a little bit, it's not as bad. It'll probably most likely be covered by close to the bezel anyways, but this one bore the brunt of it. This is where I tried to get in and this wasn't working. Let's see. Doesn't feel super deep, but I think I can at least find some way to fix this. And see this side. I think this side and this side got the most of it. Side and the 2 and the 4 area. So I might try to get in here and work that out just a little bit. Since I got the tool, I may as well try and get, smooth out some of these other areas that aren't as bad. And we'll see how that goes. I just can mask it off good, and it'll just come right off. Or at least get it reduced so it's not as obvious. So what can I say? Oops. Yeah, I didn't have as much trouble with my SRP turtle. But anyways, I'm gonna take a Dremel to this and see what happens. Be back. Okay. Well, I did try to polish this out with a Dremel, but yeah, you still got some there. It's a bit deep, unfortunately. But I plan to wear this. It's gonna be a tool watch. Well, it'll be something that I'm gonna wear, and you know, it's gonna get scratches anyway. So one part I'm bummed out. It's not brand spanking looking new. I kind of jacked it up in there a little bit, but luckily with this new bezel on, it mostly covers it from most angles. And once it's on here, it'll be alright. What can you do at this point, right? This was just a bit tougher to take out than I thought it was. And anyways, so be it. So all you do is just put on that spring that was part of this, that was in between this and the case. It's got the little spring that activates the clicking, or engages the clicking rather. And then all you do is this Times Coin Edge Bezel has a gasket in it already, so you don't need to dig this one out, which I was trying to do because I forgot that this one actually had one in there. And I said, oh, why wasn't it fitting in there? Because it has one. So anyways, leave that one in the old bezel, and then you just fit it on top. And this is snapped in actually pretty good by hand. And action's not too bad. Actually, so we play. It's a little bit of play. Not really, actually. I mean, maybe slightly if you really go for it, but you know, just like I think. Well, you see it with the bezel on, but once you do put that on, it'll it should be hold on pretty good. Yeah, this is actually better and tighter than the one that the coin edge that I got also from Crystal Times for my Seiko Turtle. That one had a little bit more, like, well, see, no, it's not as bad. The other one that I had on the Turtle had a little bit of what do you call it? Lateral shift, a little bit. This one pretty much does not, so which is good. So just to show you real quickly, this is going to go on there. No tape on this yet, but just to test fit it, it'll go something like that. And well, this SKX, the chaptering is actually off alignment, if you can tell. See? So anyways, next thing is open this up, take out the movement, then I'm gonna pop the crystal and the chapter ring will go with it, and I'll replace the new dome crystal with the new chapter ring. And this won't even matter, but yeah, first I gotta get in the movement, then line up the chapter ring, and then press down the crystal, and then once that's all set, then get this on here. And the way to put this on is I will use the 3M tape that it comes with, like as a ring. That's what I did last time, and you just carefully put it in, and you just kind of pull it so it fits just right on that bezel, and then you just have to visually line it up and just carefully see it, and then just kind of commit to just dropping it in place. And the good thing is you want to test out the fitment of your bezel with the bezel insert. See if there's any gap. Does it actually fill it in pretty good, or is there like a little bit of play, like up or down, or you know, you just want to try to notice these things. So when you, hopefully when you put it down and you're thinking about that, you lay it down just right. So like if there's a gap between the bezel insert and the edge of the bezel, right in between there, it will be even with whatever might be down here if you consider it. But this one really doesn't, I don't think it has much play going this, you know, like this. And anyway, it's not loose. It actually fits in there pretty perfectly. So I think if I just lay it down, it'll be just fine. Let's make sure it's straight. But this bezel will loom up, and it's gonna be good. Yes, I am a bit bummed by this, but oh well, what can you do? Right? I can compost the shit out of it, but I think you're gonna get to a point where it's just not gonna work. And yeah, it's all good. It's alright. If I keep this as long as I'm going to, I'm sure it's going to get dings and scratches anyways somewhere along the line. So this kind of takes the pressure off of keeping it perfect anyways. So that's it. So the bezel insert will actually go in last because you want to make sure you get the movement in, and that should be your center of attention, and that's going to be your alignment, and then you're going to line up your chapter ring, and then lastly this to the chapter ring, and consequently the dial. But if the chapter ring is lined up to the dial, then this will be, if this is lined up to the chapter ring, that means this is lined up also to the dial, and it shouldn't be that hard. Almost there. Just hope that damn crown that I got will be in on time. It's like it didn't get lost in the mail, or who knows what the hell happened to it. Okay.